you can do? Well, first of all, particularly in probation, you can be flexible with consequences. In probation, with the courts. If we understand that the behavior is coming from a place of trauma, then instead of sanctioning the person, maybe there's some other way to link the consequences to their recovery and their treatment. Okay, so to make it a positive kind of a step. We need to be sensitive to the level of fear that people have, and that they're so accustomed to lying, okay, and being wary of authority figures, that what do they tend to do when they engage in a conversation with us? Well, very often, instead of just honestly answering our questions, they study us. They're trying to figure out, what am I supposed to say in this situation? Okay? And that way they still are very protective of themselves. Does it take patience? Absolutely. But I've seen some officers taking patience that the patience was so necessary in order to maintain safety. And in a little while we're going to hear from our friend Robert again, and he's going to talk about a time when he was arrested. How one officer's actions made him more agitated and wanted to be more aggressive, whereas the other officer offered him respect, and it had a calming effect on him. Okay? The one officer's patience really kept the situation from escalating. Okay? The other thing is not to take it personally. When people are angry, anxious, upset, if they're shouting at you, if they're pushing you away, it's not about you. It really all has to do with the experiences that they've had. Earlier I talked about a situation where I came up behind somebody and tapped them on the shoulder, and that the woman turned around with her fist raised, and I almost got hit. Okay? In that situation, if I had taken it personally, that could have really wrecked the therapeutic relationship there. But I understood immediately what happened, that I had triggered a response in her. Okay? Same thing, we saw that in the very first story that we heard about the corrections officer in Northwest Correctional Facility in Ohio. Wherever we can, we want to encourage people to pursue recovery, whether that's to engage in mental health services, substance use treatment services, support groups, AA, NA, always encouraging them towards recovery. One of the things that a lot of probation officers use now is something called motivational interviewing, and within any conversation that they have with people on probation, they incorporated into it, encouraging that person, spurring them on, trying to motivate them to continue with their recovery. Okay? So bottom line is we want to support, we want to motivate, we want to link people to treatment. Now, which people that you get involved with, you can pretty much assume that everybody that you interact with has some kind of history of trauma. If they're involved in the justice system, there's about a 95% chance. So it is much better to err in the direction of assuming that there's trauma than not.